This goes out to all my ladies. We open more. Don't underestimate her. She's the cream of the crop, the Terminator. Don't assume it's not a costume. She can have.
Yo, Charlie, what's up? What's up? Everything cool, everything nice, everything sweet and nice and nice and nice. See, this is the 10th episode of Tea with IVE, and I'm your host, Ivy Enyonam. But I just wanted to take a moment to tell you how important this episode is to me, because you know the thing where when like you have 10 kids back in the day, if you are the 10th born, you are special. If like your mother will enjoy some crazy jumps, your father has to kill a goat and all that. Like I feel like that's the importance of this 10th episode to me today. I don't care what you think. I haven't been to the labor ward before, please. I'm just saying that me to have put in work. You understand? So like, share, comment, subscribe, and tell more people about this because, Charlie, it's not easy. But I thank you for sticking and staying with me till today. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about establishing roots takes time. Last episode, we spoke about changes in the roots, but I watched it and I felt like people would just be there waiting and opening their roots from time to time to be sure if the change is happening. No, it takes time. You need to let it go, okay, and let it flow and let it do its work, okay? So today I want to talk about it takes time to establish roots. So relax and enjoy the ride. No be today matter. Anyways, before we talk about that, let me just tell you about what I'm drinking today. And I'm going to do a bit more in-depth into that because I realize I've been telling you guys to Google it. And some of you, there's no way you will ever Google it. But I want you to learn. So I'm going to tell you about it. So today, I'm drinking dandelion tea. I don't know. Some people say dandelion. Some people say dandy. I don't know. If you like say dandy tiger. It's a noun. Pronounce it any way you're comfortable with. I am comfortable with dandelion because that's how I spell it. Okay. It makes it easy for me to spell. And so I'm going to talk about that today. But before that, I wanted to give you guys a quick tip because I was in a friend's house this weekend and she said, I want to drink some of these teas, but they are too bitter. Can I add sugar? No, don't add sugar. Don't do that. Worst case scenario, you can add honey. Make sure you're only adding the honey when the tea has finished simmering and like it's simmered and you've seen that the color has changed nicely and you're ready to sip because now it has cooled down a bit. So honey hates hot water. Just know that today. Remember that anytime. And try as much as possible to let your tea cool as much as possible before you throw the honey in. That's even if you want it in the first place. If not, Charlie, the truth is drink it like that. Don't press sweet things too much. But I want to tell you a little bit about dandelion before we move on. I feel like I need to tell you guys a little bit more about some of the things that I absorb into my body from drinking some of these amazing teas. Before I continue, please, when you're sick, go to the doctor. Don't say, Ivy said if I drink the tea. No. These are preventives, okay? They're supposed to help your body stay healthy. But as you sick there, then say you slack with that. So that one day you for go hospital. You bad. Yeah. So dandelion helps boost your immune system. It reduces premature aging. In case you're wondering why I'm like this and I look fine. Someone said they'll buy me a walking stick, but they are shocked that I look 25. Bombay, okay. But yeah, that is very important. So premature aging, bone health, numpemu, ujiami, ona, sanefe. It also helps with digestion. So if you're trying to lose weight and things like that, you probably want to drink dandelion right after your meal. When you finish eating and you take a break, drink this tea. It helps the food digest faster. And yeah, I went on some fattening course and I realized I had to reduce. So I've reduced. I don't know if you've noticed, but from episode 1 till now, there's been a change. Go and check it out and come and tell me if you see it. Anyways, now let's move on to today's episode. I just was wondering if I should go straight into what plants taught me, because I feel like we've talked about roots. But I wanted to say something quickly before that, okay? And this particular conversation I have broke into two because I felt like I didn't touch on as much as I wanted to in the previous episode. And I felt like I left some things out that I needed to bring to your attention so you're not misled. Okay. So let's start with this. Listen, the truth about roots is it takes a while. Now, let me tell you how plants work. Okay. And then after that, I'll tell you a story. And then I'll tell you what plants taught me. That's how I want to do it today. Chale, you'll never find it. The thing I'm doing, there's no formula. I'm just talking sense. Take it. Don't expect it to go a certain way and say, no, take it. Okay. Yes. If you were in the church and the pastor was collecting this one, he's telling you, the spirit told me, like now you go take him serious, no be so. Anyways, let's move on to this. So, you know, when plants are growing, okay? Oh no, let me start from the beginning. When you buy a plant and you bring the plant home, the first few days, in fact, sometimes months, the plant is not happy, okay? You see that thing of how when you move from one new place, from an old place you're used to another place, there's a change in environment. Even your sleep patterns will change because your body is used to sleeping a certain type of way in a certain kind of room, and things have changed. And it takes you a while as a human being to adjust. That's exactly how it works for plants. So for the first month, stop thinking you're killing the plants. It's just the plant saying, I am not comfortable in this new space. I need to get used to it. Now, in that moment, you won't see, or you hardly see, new growth. Hardly. If you see a new growth, it was probably coming up before you moved it. So that one will come, and the leaf will probably be smaller than the one before it. Allow it to do its work. It's more or less like you entering a new business, a new company. And people have been there. They've seen how things have worked. They are used to it. They know how the boss responds to email. They know how timelines are. Now you get in and you think that you for proof in 3 months because they said probation. Hey, fear off. You go come house because there's no way you can outdo the people who have been there in 3 months. And if you try, someone will shoot you down. You know what I mean by shoot you down? Someone will literally make your life uncomfortable. I've seen it several times. It's happened to me several times. The truth is to understand your environment first. The key is to understand your environment first. And I think that's what plants do in the first months when you move them from one place to another. They try to understand the environment first. In that time where they're understanding the environment, they barely push out any new leaves, which means barely see any new success or rates. Like the success rate is slow for the plants. And meanwhile, in that time, they're working down here. They're working on the roots. They're checking how many times they get water. They're checking how they should be saving the water so that based on the schedule you've been watering, which works for them, how they should be able to stand with or without too much water. They're checking all that and gradually adapting to the space. After they have adapted to the space, now they try to grow in the space and take over the container, which is what the roots does. It's only after the roots have been well established that you will see the leaves come back to normal. The size of leaves that you saw, that you were excited about, and you came home and you saw that the leaves were becoming smaller. It's only after that these leaves will say, okay, there will be a meeting. Then right now we have established our roots. It took us 3 months, but now we've established our roots. We are ready to grow. You won't really see big growth until after that period. And it varies from plant to plant, just like it varies from human to human. So the fact that 2 of you were employed the same day doesn't mean you should try all you can, kill yourself and do all of that because you want to hit the same target the other person is hitting. That's not how it works. Everybody has their pace. Take your time. Yours is to find a way to adjust as quickly as you can. Learn about how things are done in that office or in that school. Study it. See how to maneuver your way. See what works for you based on that. Okay. If the plant dies, it means that it couldn't adjust to your environment, which is also fine. If you can't adjust, leave. You can always check my episode on Let It Go. Okay. But as much as possible, don't feel pressured to do too much in that space where you're supposed to be adjusting. Because what I realized is we bring the plant home. We feel too pressured. Now we start to think, am I giving it small water? Is that why the leaf is small? Okay, let me put more water. Then now you start every day watering. Then the more you water, the more yellow leaves you see. You're like, what am I doing wrong? Dear, allow the plants to breathe. Like, it takes time. If you walk into a new room, don't expect to be keen the next day. It takes time. Okay, give yourself that great grace period. You realize that after 6 months, you'll be hitting the targets that you thought were impossible before. And you would have really adapted and chilled into the space. Let me give you guys a story because I feel like today I haven't given you a story. So you're feeling some way. I worked for a company and I came into the company fresh. Then the first time the boss saw me, the boss said, hey, have you worked in such a big company before? And I said, no, boss. Hey, then how will you survive? And I said, when we get there, we'll cross the road. And she looked at me and she laughed. Look, in the first few months, I had no clue what I was doing because it was different. It was a way bigger company than I was used to. The processes and everything, like I had to learn. And obviously, you know that I have told you already, I'm a brands person, I'm a communications person. I have to learn the branding of the company, the colors, the appropriation of the colors. I had to learn all of that. It took a while. But see, it got to a point. My boss would just pick an artwork and say, what's the problem with this artwork? And I'll just look at it and I'll point it out. And she said, like, girl, you've been here for just 6 months. Yeah. But the first 2 days, guy, everything was so plenty in my eyes. It looked like, why? How am I supposed to put this in my head? I'm not a designer. Why are you asking me what wrong do I see with the artwork? But it's one of the things that has helped me so much that these days, if I'm supposed to vet something, it just takes me, like, I just need to look at it and my eyes will actually find the mistakes first and point it out. And it's because I have done it for how many years? 14 to 15 years. It hasn't been easy, but it's just been how consistent. And because the roots are firm and I was able to go through that learning phase, the longer it has stayed with me, the better I've gotten at it. Okay. And so that's what I really wanted to share with you today. Don't beat yourself up. Yeah, we say time is money. And so you think that if you lose today, that's it? No. As long as you have life, there's time. There is time. By all means, adjust, learn, make those mistakes, live. See, in that process, if you find a lover, love. Because sometimes when you're in love and you go to the office, The energy is different. It's like you walk into the office and boss is yelling at you, going, oh, last night, did you know how I jump? I don't go mind you, safe. Me, the way I jam you, they can't make noise. Me, the way they. Like, just take your time. I'm not saying be lazy and not do what you're supposed to do. Set targets for yourself. Build on it. Do you get, like, you need to enjoy your growth so that when you're finally at that point where you've hit your target, you can sit back and say, hey, I come this place. Then this be how I do. But right now, this be how I do. And it's at that point that you realize that your roots are well established and your roots are firmly relaxed and well adjusted. And so, Chale, you are the one who gets to say, and boss, this week I'm doing A, B, and C. I hope to achieve Z, W, Z, or Y, Z, whatever you want to tell your boss. And you realize that with time, your boss won't be micromanaging you again. Because at that point, she or he knows how you work. They're like, okay, as for Ivy will figure it out. I don't have to do too much. Ivy, are you figuring it out? Yes, boss. I'm figuring it out. Give me a little bit of time. I'll get back to you. Look, your boss will go to sleep knowing that they can trust you because they saw you adjust and they've seen the growth and improvement in your life. Okay. So yeah, let's go to what plants taught me in this space. Okay. I want to read. So let's go. In my first year as a plant parent, okay. Now let me tell you a little bit about this because I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I like to talk about it. The thing is, I've always grown up around plants. My mom loves herbs, so I'm used to knowing what to take at every point in time and all the herbal stuff. But we make ourselves, okay? My grandma, my aunties, they all like plants, so everybody had plants in their home and things like that. I was used to it. But I'm talking about my space. So I've always had at least 2 plants that I just use for aesthetics. But my first year that I said, I'm going to take plants seriously and like, I want plants in my space, right? In my first year, I was always so worried about how long it takes for a plant to give me a leaf. So I'll wake up in the morning and walk straight to the plant corner. Hey, so today you won't give me leaf. Then I'll touch the plants. Then I'll look around it. Then I'll Google it. What am I doing wrong? But it's just been one day. Yeah, but it's just been 1 week. It's just been 1 month. And so what? But the same plants that the audio dear Maru. The same plants that were messing with me. I like the word messing with me. Because they were messing with me. I thought they weren't going to do well. But 4 years down the line, these plants are thriving in my space. Okay, 4 years down the line, first year, if I don't water the plants, you see the way the plants will be looking at me funny and making me feel all guilty. These days, when I don't water them, they are okay. If I remember in our time, you're like, hey, she's back. Then they are okay. The roots have become so strong and they have adjusted so well to my space that now all they have to do is push out leaves. It's like building a house and saying that you won't focus on the foundation. You see how long it takes for the foundation to be done. You will see they'll be on foundation for like 3 years. Then in 6 months, the whole building is done. That's how it is. Because you need to have a solid roots. And like today, I woke up and I saw how amazing my plants were looking. And I was repotting one the last time, and I pulled it out and I saw how the roots have gone round the pots and it came out like cake. Okay, it was so nice seeing the white roots, and I was so proud of myself. And that's the kind of feeling I want you to experience. Like, I feel like you need to understand that plants will teach you a lot of things if only you pay attention and if only you look at it from that point of view. If you're willing to learn, plants will teach you. If you're willing to live, plants will show you. And as long as you continue to love them, plants got your back. Like, I'm not even no cap. Hey, see what I did? Back cap. Anyways, thank you so much for joining this episode of Tea with IVE. My name is Ivy Enyonam. Big ups to Pebble. And remember, you are not basic. Cat.
Don't care if you cannot see her, she go blow your mind. Put on your speakers, take a break, a little escape, she can have it all. She gets the power.